I have experienced like many things in my life before, but one thing I'm gonna say I don't think that kind of shocked me about this whole experience. I've gotten physically like violated a lot, getting hit, being forced to like constantly work for like my abuser even after being abused, work for her with not just to work for the abuser, but to work in it with somehow all of my mind, brain, and kind of soul put into it. And then we run away, and then we are at these people's house, and then their daughter, who is like my age, actually. Second night of us being there, second night, okay? I'm lying down, I'm trying to sleep, and I suddenly feel like her hands going in places they shouldn't be going. And I was like, what are you doing? I thought at the bare minimum first she wanted to cuddle or something, which I wasn't honestly ready for because I barely know you. I've only here 2 nights, but she also begins to continue, and I'm asking her like, what the fuck are you doing? My sister is there, okay? She's just not paying attention. My sister was there, but it was dark and nobody could see, and I tried to peel her hands off me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? At some point I am just too not starstruck, like dumbfounded to do anything. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? And her hands were going places where they shouldn't be going, and it just felt very like wrong. Like, I'm not gonna say that, oh, I'm against the LGBTQ community. That's not my concern. I have bigger concerns, but the fact that she was, going around, even remembering it is just making me like shudder. She was just like going, her hand was just going in different places, found her way like down and up, and even went as far as like, forcing me to kind of like kiss her in a way. Not in a way, that was definitely what happened. So, forcing me to like kiss her and stuff, like under the covers where like dead ass nobody could see or hear. And I kept like telling her that, get off me, I'm not comfortable with this, we're not gonna do this. I kept like peeling her hands off me because honestly I was too stunned to speak. I just kept moving her hands off me, and I was like kind of giving her like signs of like, don't touch me, like get your hands off me. She dead ass, she did not hear me on time. It did ask took her a couple of minutes of me doing this before I actually had to like forcefully remove her hands and like tell her like, I'm not doing this, like genuinely I'm not doing this, like get your hands off me. Before she was like, sorry, and like dead ass slept off 2 seconds later. So I was going to forget this incident, okay? I wasn't going to bring it up again, apart if I was going to tell my sisters about it. As at this time, we had just run away like 2 nights ago, okay? And we had to stay at this people's house because my sister was working for them. We both were kind of working for them, so that's not even only my sister. And our other sister was still with our abuser in a different country. We needed to figure out how to get her here out of the abuse safely with us all together. That way we can start to figure something out. But she was still there at this time, and at this time we had no way or no clue as to how to get her out of there. So I had bigger concerns about whether this person was trying to be lesbian with me or not. So after that happened, we took I kept forgetting about it. I didn't remember it that well. I just chose to ignore that it ever happened and everything. So the day that we got kicked out, quote unquote, of their house, which is not true because we had actually been planning to leave for the past 3-4 days now. So it wasn't that they kicked us out. We had already been planning to leave, but every time we talked about leaving, they would start to get so weird and begin to be like, even if you do leave, where will you go? Like, not in like the caring of like, oh, where will you go? In like the manner that's like, where will you go apart from here type of manner. And it definitely felt like I was being like attacked and like threatened and everything, but I didn't like name it as that early enough. But that's definitely what it was. So they kept asking, like, kind of aggressively, like, where will you go apart from here, kind of vibe. So after that, we and my sisters, because we are now together, we can make plans about where we'll start our life from. So we proceed to go out to this place. We proceeded to go out to this place and try and get money and all that. We're talking on the road. We spent a long time outside, like an hour plus, because we have stuff to do. We're just talking within ourselves. We probably yelled a little bit. Then we come back. On the way, while we're outside, my sister kept saying, they're gonna open my bag. Someone is going to open my bag. It wasn't like I didn't believe her, but I was like, they didn't open your bag before. Will they really open it now? She was like, I hope they didn't open my bag. I really hope they didn't open my bag. Only for us to come inside and guess what? Her bag is open. And they're in it, and they're like, at least three of them is like in the room talking. And then they proceed to say that, like, so we got hurt because on the road, on the way out is when I told my sisters about what just happened to me, like the whole physical space invasion thing, which by this time it had already been 4 weeks ago. I hadn't told them about it till then. So when I told them, they were like, this is not good. This is really bad. Like, why would she do something like that? That's just plain, that's not good at all. Why would she invade your privacy like that? Like, why, you didn't tell me about this? Very angry at the girl. That's what the vibe was. And then they woke, so we were on our way back. And apparently we have been heard by one of her daughters that we've been talking about them, and they kept like insulting, like, why would you talk about my daughters like that and everything, and just basically being invasive and rude and assuming. But I'll go into that later. That's a whole different story. The part I'm trying to highlight is why I made this audio log. So my sister, they keep shouting at us and going on tangents, and my sister just gets upset, and she's like, well, we're talking about that like that because your daughter freaking touched my sister in a weird way. And you could tell all the mocking, disbelieving noises. All the mocking, disbelieving noises I was hearing was just obviously like, why would you even think something like that? Like, you're the one with the problem, obviously. Why would you think a girl wants to touch you like that? Like, that's the vibe they were giving. And after that, it reached like hitting levels as well. So especially the mother, she was like, why would you, like, hitting me? Like, why would you assume, like, slapping me and stuff like that? Like, why would you see that my daughter wants to do that with you? Like, you're the one who's evil. You're poison. You're evil. You're this. Like, I see why your abuser abused you. Vibe. Like, that's just what it was. It wasn't fun at all. But this definitely kind of showed me that it's actually possible to feel like this about someone who's like your age, your gender. Like, I didn't think that was possible, but probably this is one thing I have been taught, kind of. So that was definitely something that I didn't like sign up for. I'll get more in detail the more this channel grows as to how it all went about and everything, but it was definitely an experience. It was an experience. Anyways, that's all I have for now. I'll try to keep posting more, assuming anybody is watching. So